What's up, girls? I just read The Cost of These Dreams by Wright Thompson. He's a sports writer at ESPN, and The Cost of These Dreams are a collection of short stories, though I guess in the field of like sports writing, they're kind of longer form, but like in the scope of literature, I'd consider them short stories. Um, they're about Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Hurricane Katrina, Bear Bryant, Pat Riley. He's got a story at the end about he and his dad. And, I used to be like really crazy about sports all the way through maybe junior year of college. And then at a certain point, I was kind of like, I actually think it's a vice for me to be like sitting on the couch all day on Sunday watching football. If I want to pursue, you know, my goal, my dream of becoming a author, I was like, I have to kind of view that as a vice and cut it out. So I have not been like as like enthralled by sports kind of since that moment. So this was a really cool experience for me because this style of sports writing that Wright Thompson writes in is so different than, Bleacher Report articles or like other articles I used to read when I was interested in sports. He takes like kind of like an existentialist, view. He finds like meaning in all of these stories. So it's like, all of these guys who are like incredibly successful. He asks questions like, what happens when you're confronted with aging? What is the driver that makes someone want to like achieve to the highest capacity like these guys? And does it hurt them in some ways? Does it fracture relationships in their lives? The Tiger Woods story obviously is like, probably the most famous because it's about his fall from grace. I remember when I was in like, I guess I was probably in middle school when it was happening, and it was like huge news, and I wasn't even interested in golf. But I remember how crazy it was that he was having all these affairs, and this story goes into like his relationship with his father, what Tiger was actually like as a person, what the media portrayed him as, why they did that, his dad's own affairs, his dad's passing, etc., etc. And it gives you this like really human kind of relationship with these otherwise like, almost gladiatorial sports figures who are at the top of their respected fields. There's also a really great one with Michael Jordan, where he's like trying to confront aging, basically. I think it's written as he is 50 years old, and he owns the Bobcats, and yeah, it's just kind of going through like, he's an interesting case as well because he had such a huge ego, and that kind of drove a lot of his success. And having like a big ego in the body of a 50-year-old man, however accomplished, especially when it relates to sports, is going to be a problem psychologically. So they were really cool stories. I think it's really cool to kind of transcribe some literary fiction trends or ways of like exploring human nature onto sports stories. It was like a interesting combining of like two worlds that I had kind of kept separate in my mind for a while. So The Cost of These Dreams by Wright Thompson, check it out.